Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today is a super exciting day for me because today we're doing a Sephora haul. Oh my gosh, this bag is so heavy and it's full of such beautiful things. So recently my now fiance and I went on vacation. We went around France and Italy, and while we were in Paris I stopped at their local Sephora. I chose to do the Paris one because I know it stocks most of the brands that I was looking for, instead of the Italian one. I don't think there is one in Venice, but I know that there's a couple in Rome. I saw two in Rome, and I know there's a third one because I was looking for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlighter. So when I went to the Paris one, it was on my list, and they told me that unfortunately they had sold out of it the day before that I went there. I was so upset. I was like, why didn't I just go the day before? So I went to the two of them in Rome, and both didn't stock Anastasia Beverly Hills. They then said I needed to go to the third one, which does stock it, but I didn't know where the third one was. Like by the time I found the first two, I was just like, you know what, it wasn't meant to be. I was not meant to own the Amrezy highlighter, as beautiful as it was. But I did get some really cool stuff nonetheless. So let's get right into it, guys. Okay, so actually let me get into the first thing that I got that is actually not Sephora, but it's in my Sephora bag because I put it in there. But it's actually the MAC Fix Plus Prep and Prime. I got this while I was in Venice. I walked past a MAC store and I hadn't seen it in our local South African MAC stores, which it is now. But when I saw it, I really wanted to try it. They had the rose gold one and the gold light one, and I picked the gold one because I feel like gold just goes better with my skin tone. It's the one thing I didn't get at Sephora, that's makeup. Yeah, I used it. I find it's maybe just a teeny bit patchy with the spritzing of the gold, but maybe I didn't mix it well enough, and I've only tried it once, so I think I need to give it a better chance before I say I don't like it. Okay, so the next thing that I got, so exciting guys, is the Rihanna Fenty Beauty Body Lava. Oh my gosh, this is in the shade Who Needs Clothes. I cannot wait to use this. I actually am upset that I didn't get the brush. Like I should have got the brush that, you know, that everyone goes like that in the videos. I should have got the brush, but I just thought to myself, I can use a brush that I already own at home. Why am I wasting money on a kabuki brush? But it's so pretty. I should have got the brush. So I got this. I haven't used it yet, only because it's winter here, so I'm always in a jersey. I'm always covered up, so there's no point in me even like trying it yet. But it's going to be summer soon. I think as soon as it hits spring, so it's about mid-July now, so I think as soon as it hits about September is when I'll open this up, like once it starts warming up a bit, and then I'm gonna be showing some of these clavicles and shoulders out, you know, and then I'm gonna be using this. Like it's beautiful, guys. Just even the bottle inside, it's heavy, it's glass, it's beautiful, it's such beautiful packaging. I'm so excited to even own anything Fenty Beauty. Okay, the next thing that I got was the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I've been in the market for a new foundation for a while now. I always used to use the heavy duty full coverage foundations, and I don't know, I thought to myself, why? Like I don't have bad skin, I don't have issues with my skin. I normally actually just use a CC cream on a day-to-day instead of a foundation in any case. So I thought I want like a light to medium coverage foundation that gives me still that glow, because it's mostly summer here all the time. So I didn't want something that I'm gonna sweat through, or it's just cakey on my face. It's just too much. Thing in the bag. on my way out, so I wrote a list of everything I wanted from Sephora, and then I left extra money just in case there were things that I wanted. And you know, like when you're in a supermarket, they normally put like the candy bars by the tills, and then you like, oh, I'm actually wishing for chocolates. Sephora does the same thing. So they put all like the travel size stuff, the mini stuff, close by the tills, and then when you're standing there, you think to yourself, oh, I didn't think of that, or oh, I actually want to try that. So I did get some stuff like in travel sizes, but one of the things I did get when I was at the till was a new beauty blender. And I got this one in the beige or brown shade. I own this in pink and I own it in red. And because my foundation is brown, my sponges are filthy all the time. And even when I clean them, they don't go back to that beautiful pink that they always used to be. So I couldn't find the brown one in South Africa because I actually don't think they stock it. They have the pink, they have the white, they have the red. Those are the colors I've seen here. But I got my hands on a brown one, which I'm really happy because then it won't look so dirty all the time. Like my poor pink one does, which actually I think I need to throw away. It's bad. I'm not going to show it to you, but it's bad. Okay, another thing I got when I was exiting was this Fasali unicorn essence. It's in the travel size. It's really expensive for the regular size, and I thought to myself, I've never used a serum or a primer before. My skin is very sensitive, very, very sensitive. Like, I react to everything. I have allergies. I have a list of allergies. So I thought to myself, instead of forking out the money to buy the big bottle, let me try out the travel size one first, because then if I like it, then I can justify buying the bigger bottle. And if I don't like it, I won't be upset because I bought this big thing and it was so expensive and then I'm not going to use it. So I mean, and everyone raves about the Fasali unicorn essence. Everybody and their mama raves about it, so I got that. The last thing that I got, not the last thing in the bag, okay, but the last thing that I got when I was at the till, so at the till stuff, is a Sephora face mask. I actually also bought a Sephora foot mask, but I used it while I was in Paris because we walked so much. I got discovery points for over 10,000 footsteps every day. We were there for 2 weeks across Europe. So my feet needed that foot mask. I actually should have bought more, but I used the foot mask. It was the lavender one. It was stunning. So I also got the pomegranate face mask. I normally use the Tony Moly sheet masks, and I love those. So I'm sure I'm also going to love this sheet mask just as much as I love the Tony Moly ones. Okay, I then also picked up a Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade. This one is in the shade Ebony. Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade is by far my favorite brow product ever. Hands down, favorite brow product I've ever used, okay? Before I picked up the Ebony, I had been using the Anastasia Beverly Hills in dark brown, and I really loved it. But I found that it looked nice in person. So if you look at my eyebrows now, okay, this is the MAC one that is on my eyes now, but the color of the dark brown Anastasia one is similar to this, and it looks like it matches. But I found that when I took photographs, my eyebrows came out lighter than what it looked like in person. So I felt that I should go a shade darker, which is why I picked up Ebony instead of dark brown, because I feel like my hair is fine, is dark enough. It's probably even black, so it would pull off an ebony shade. And favorite brow product, like hands down, I will justify repurchasing it anytime. It's my absolute holy grail eyebrow product. Okay, the next thing that I picked up, which I've been dying to try, guys. I've been dying to try, and I'm so glad I have it. It is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I got this one in the shade Ginger. I was going to pick up the shade Custard, but when they did the extended range, I I tend to like watching YouTubers who have similar skin tone to me, and then they said that this shade is much better than, I think they like the ginger, they like the macadamia, and they said it's better than the custard one because it's just a little bit more brown than yellow. So I'm really excited that I got this. I cannot wait to try it. I love concealer. I have pigmentation just underneath my eyes. It's not an intense pigmentation, but it's there, and I just need a little bit of brightening. Nothing too heavy duty, just something nice and light, and I'm so excited to try this out. Okay, the next thing that I got, which I'm excited about, is the Fenty Beauty lip, it's upside down, the gloss bomb in Fenty Glow. Another one that everyone and their mamas has been raving about. I cannot wait to try this out. It looks stunning. I'm even gonna open it for you guys and show you guys. It just, like, it just looks so beautiful. I cannot wait to try it. Everybody that I've seen it on their lips, it looks phenomenal. It gives them a teeny bit of like a tint with a bit of like that sparkly glow, which I really love. I have a ton of lipstick, I have a ton of liquid lipstick, but sometimes it's just too much for me, and I prefer having a lot of moisture because my lips are extremely dry and they always feel extremely dry. So I probably last a couple of hours with a liquid lipstick, and then I have to take it all off, put like a moisturizer, like a lip ice or something, and then reapply afterwards, because that's how dry my lips get all the time. So I'm happy with trying out a gloss because then I feel like it'll be a little bit more moisturizing on my lips. Okay, the next thing that I got, I actually got this at the Sephora in Italy. It's the only thing I bought at the Sephora in Italy, only because I couldn't find it at the Sephora in Paris. I went and wanted to get the Huda minis in the nude set. I've only owned the ColourPop liquid lipstick. I've never had a Huda one, and everyone has raved about it as well. There's a beauty group that I'm a part of, and everyone there was like, it's the best. It's better than ColourPop. It's not as drying. It's absolutely stunning. I'm wearing one of the shades today. It's called Medusa, and when I went to the Paris Sephora, they had run out of stock, and when I went to one of the ones in Rome, the one by the Spanish Steps, they had stock, but they only had stock of the Power Pinks. So I was like, you know what, I do own already a ton of nude lipsticks. I don't mind picking up a pink set. So I went ahead and I picked up the Power Pinks. I love them. I love the formula. I also wanted to pick up the minis in case I didn't like them, and then at least I didn't fork out on a large bottle of one or tube of one, and I wasn't sure what shades I was going to like. So at least if I got a set, I kind of figure out like what kind of shades I want. The only one I was concerned about is Jet Setter, which is this one here at the top. I thought it might come out a bit light on my skin tone, so I also picked up a Sephora lip liner just to go with that one in the case that it was going to be too light. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm still sure that on my skin tone it's going to be, I'm going to look like I'm hungry, and I don't want to look like I'm hungry, so I picked up the lip liner to help with that situation. Okay, then next thing I picked up is a hair care product. I picked up the Bumble and Bumble Hairdresser's Invisible Oil. This thing smells divine. Okay, it smells divine. It is absolutely stunning. I just wanted something that was going to help me with my frizz, my flyaways, that wasn't going to be too heavy, that I could use every day if I wanted to, or just, you know, I like to put oil in my hair right after I've washed and conditioned it, and then I leave it, and then I can just style it how it is, or I can flat iron it, and I don't want it when I flat iron it to be that oily slick that sometimes your hair can be if you put too much oil in it. I tend to use like an argan oil, but like 100% argan oil, not these mixed blends or whatever. 100% argan oil, and with that one your hair can get quite oily if you use too much. So I wanted to try something that was a little bit lighter on my hair, and I picked this up, and it's so far that I've used it for probably about 3 times I've used this now after I've washed it, and my hair feels soft. It feels like bouncy. It still feels like lovely. It doesn't feel heavy, doesn't feel oily. The only thing that I will say about this is it is blinking expensive for the size that it is. Like, come on, Bumble and Bumble, are you for real? Like, I kid you not, guys, I spent, I think it was like €50 on this bottle. €50 on a bottle that's about smaller than the size of my hand. Hair oil. Like, I just wish it was bigger for the amount that I paid for it. But other than that, it was wonderful, and I needed a new hair oil, and I thought, might as well try a brand that we don't get here. Although that wasn't smart, because if I try a brand that we don't get here and I like it, I'm gonna have to like figure out how to import it and then pay customs and taxes and duties and shipping fees. Oh, that was a bad decision. Oh. Okay. Moving on to the next thing in this extra large packet. I picked up the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Powder Palette. I've been dying to try this palette out. I own the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour and Highlight Powder Palette, and I love that. I've hit pan on all of the highlight shades, and I'm gonna hit pan on all of the contour shades as well, because I mix them to contour or to bronze up my face. Everybody raves about this. Everyone and their mama raves about this. So I had to try it. Like, I got the refillable palette in case I do like it and I wanna repurchase just individual shades, because I mean, you don't always hit pan on all the shades at the same time, and I find that's problematic when you have a palette that's not refillable, because then to get that shade now you must buy a whole new palette. Like, I'm not gonna be doing that. So I got the refillable palette, which I love, because I feel like they put a lot more effort into it than the normal palette, because it is like guys, this is 3 friggin' D, and it's like quite sturdy. It's not that cardboard palette that is the non-refillable one. Guys, she is beautiful. She's beautiful. I just want you to know you're my favorite girl. Oh, she's beautiful. I can't wait to start using this. Yeah. It actually also comes with like an instruction card, just to show you like where they advise using the contour shades and the highlight shades and all that jazzy jazz. Okay. So super excited with that. Can't wait to use it. Let's close that up. Okay. Moving on to the next thing that I got, which I'm also super excited about, is the Huda Beauty, I don't see that, okay, the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette. I'm really sorry for the noise, guys. The fiance is busy power hosing outside, and he's making so much noise. Okay. So I got the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette. I was having such a tough time deciding between this palette and the Desert Dusk palette. I knew I wanted a Huda Beauty palette, and I was like between the two. I thought, should I get both? Should I get one? And I thought, okay, let's not get both, but let's pick one. And then I struggled to pick between the two, because they are so, honestly, they are so different. And they're both just as beautiful, and I just couldn't decide. Did I want a palette that's more like pinky reddy, or did I want a palette that is more like a purpley orangey, you know? And I really couldn't decide. Even prior to going to Sephora, I couldn't decide, and I thought, when I get in there and I look at both of them and I feel both of them, I will make my decision. And when I went in there and I looked at them and I felt them, and I couldn't make my decision. I was like, I don't know what to get. So I looked at my fiance, and I was like, babe, you're gonna have to make this decision for me, because I want both and I don't want to buy both. I just want to buy one, so you're gonna have to decide which one I'm getting. So he looked at them and he's like, they're both so pretty, and he's like, okay, he's gonna pick the shades he likes the best. And then ultimately he picked the rose gold palette, which I'm happy about. I'd have been happy either or. I'm excited to use this palette. I didn't own the first edition one, but I'm happy to own the second edition one, the remastered. Can't wait to create some pretty looks with it. Okay, the last thing that I got, other than a bunch of samples, I got a whole bunch of perfume samples, is that I got a beautiful perfume. I don't know if you can see that. This perfume brand is called Acqua di Parma. It is an Italian brand perfume, and I love whenever I travel to get a perfume, especially a perfume that I can't get here at home. I mean, it doesn't really matter if I do get one that I can get here at home, but I love to find like a new scent every time I travel. Even better if it's something that I can't get here at home. And I looked around at a couple of places looking for perfumes, and then ultimately when I went to Sephora, they do have a really big perfume selection at the Paris store. And I think my nose was so tired of smelling things, but I mean, I went around and also price stuff and figure out what it is that I want. And then when I found this brand and I smelled this particular scent, this one is the I don't want to butcher this, but I'm going to try my best. It's the Mandorlo di Sicilia. Mandorlo di Sicilia, and it's a vanilla based perfume, which is probably why I picked it. I love the smell of vanilla, and it's one of the notes in it. But they do also say that this is a unisex perfume, so you can, man or woman, this one is for you. Okay, so I also want to show you something really cool with the perfume. Is at Sephora in Paris, you can personalize the items that you purchase, which is super cool. It's free of charge, as long as you've bought something from there. And I got to personalize my perfume bottle. So this is the perfume bottle, and on the back, if you can see, I personalized it. Oops. I personalized it, guys, with my name. It says Stephanie. You can literally get anything written on there in different fonts. They have different font choices, and you can write whatever you want. So if it's a gift to someone, you can say, to Steph, love Steph, or like, I think that's really cool. It's lasered on, so it's not like a sticky, like it's actually lasered onto the glass, so it's gonna be there forever. And it's like, oh, the stuff smells divine. Smells divine, and I love the bottle. It's like so simplistic but so beautiful. Yeah, so okay, that is ultimately everything that I bought at Sephora. I won't lie, there were a couple of other things that I wanted to get that weren't in stock. They were on my list, but they either had run out of stock or they just didn't have it. I wanted to get the other shade as well of the Fenty Body Glow. I know it's crazy to have two, but it's a limited edition from what I know, and so I wanted to get both, but they didn't have stock of the other shade, which I think it's Brown Sugar, so it's fine as long as I got one. Like, I'm happy. I also wanted to get the Fenty Lip Stunner lip paint. I don't know why I didn't actually. I think I saw it. I'm sure I saw it when I was there, but I feel like, as much as I'm a makeup person and I love makeup, when I went in there, there's so much stuff, especially when you're coming from a place like South Africa, where we are so limited to the makeup brands that we have access to, and when you want a makeup brand that you can't really get locally, you have to go through a third-party seller, and then the price is so exorbitant because they've had to import the stuff, they've had to import it, they've had to pay customs and duty on it, and then they still put their markup on it so that they can make a profit. So when you go into a place where you're like, and you can literally get anything your heart desires. You really can have like anxiety attacks in there. Like you're like, I want everything. And then you're walking around trying to figure out what it is that you want and what you can afford. And you know, so I went in with a shopping list, which I'm really glad I did. Prior to going, I went on the Sephora France website. I saw what products they had. I wrote a shopping list. I wrote the prices down, so I knew exactly what I was getting myself into, and I had like extra funds for, I knew I wanted a perfume. I knew there might be some extra things I had forgotten to look at that I might want to pick up, like example the beauty blender, the Fasoli oils, the face masks. I didn't have that on my list. So I mean, I advise at least create some type of shopping list, even if it's not exact brands that you want. Write down things that you know you're going to want to get, like foundation, concealer, so you know what you're looking for, because it can just get so overwhelming in a store that big with so many people in there. It's really full all the time. Like we went to the one on Champs-Elysees. It's the biggest store, it's the fullest store. So you'll totally be like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what to do with myself in the store. I want to drown myself in all these makeup brands and swim in them. So yeah, there was a bunch of stuff I wish I had gotten that I didn't get. Again, the Amrezy highlighter, I'm so upset I didn't find it. I mean, I tried. I even went to the ones in Rome and couldn't find it. So clearly that one wasn't meant for me, but maybe I'll still get my hands on it through like a third-party seller or something. Maybe someone else is going to Sephora or something, you know, someone's traveling and they can look for me. But yeah, other than that, that is my Sephora haul, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Hoping to do some more hauls with you guys soon. Probably the next one up will be clothing haul. But yeah, thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like it. Leave a comment down below if you enjoyed this video, what you'd like to see from me coming in the future, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.